Everyone, this is Lori from the Crafting Auntie. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. If you have been here a while or if you're new, I'm glad you're here with me today. So today I'm involved in a Christmas garden collaboration with Carolyn Musings. She has an Etsy shop, which is Carolyn Musings. She's also Carolyn Musings on Facebook. And she also has a Facebook group called One Way Journals. So there are a list of us in this collaboration, and I'll show you the list of each of the creators that are involved. So Carolyn was first, and then go check out her video, and then you can just follow along to each of the ones and check out which each of the creators are making in this collaboration. Now this collaboration is centered around Christmas garden, which are the kits that Carolyn has in her Etsy shop. So there is a Christmas garden faith journal kit. There is also a Christmas garden writing kit, and also there's an add-on kit that has different pieces of ephemera that you can insert into your journal pages or into projects or whatever it is that you decide to create. So go check out each of the creators that are on this list, and there's some that have already aired their videos. I am today, which is the 6th, the Crafting Auntie. And so what I am going to be creating and showing you how to create is this writing folio. Now I have used a little bit of each of the kits that she has involved in this collaboration to create this folio. So I'm going to show you how I created it. I'll just give you a little look on the outside, and you can see all the gorgeous papers that are involved. There's more, of course, as I'm creating this with you. So let's get started and create this beautiful folio with all these gorgeous Christmas garden faith journal kit digitals. Okay, so let's get started on this writing folio. And let me give you some dimensions. Let me grab my ruler here. I have things all written down as well, but just in case I need my ruler. So the overall is 9 inches. It's taking 4 different panels, and I'll give you each panel and the size of it. So panel 1, you want 9 inches tall by 6 3/4, and then you will score at 1/2 inch and 1 1/4 inch. And that will come over to panel 2, and panel 2 is 9 by 6, no scoring. Panel 3 is 9 by 6 3/4, and then you'll score at 1/2 and 1 1/4. And then panel 4, which is our flap, so this closes up like this, I made that 5 inches. I scored it at 1 1/4 and then 3/4. So those are the pieces. And you can adjust the size, whatever you want to do. So what I have done is I have prepared a lot of all the panels that are going to go inside this, and I've inked them all. And so there are some that I need to put on first, and then there are some that I need to put on afterwards. And what I've done is I've marked each panel to the number coinciding to the number here. So this is panel 1. This happens to be panel 1 on the outside. This is 1 on the outside. So this would go here. So I have recently just rounded these corners. So I'm going to go ahead and round these 2 corners for these 2 pieces. And I'm using the large setting on my corner rounder. So let's do that. And then let me just quickly ink those. So I've inked with walnut stain for each of the pieces. I thought it went pretty well with this kit. Okay, so in this particular case for this outside, I want to add one of these flip outs that I have. So these are some flip outs that I want to put here one of these on this side. And I think what I want to do is use this one. And I want to put this on before I add my panels. So I've already pre-scored everything, so you would score here along all these lines. I've cut my window out. You are welcome to add acetate if you want to. I've chosen not to because I've added a lot of resin on here. So you'll see some of the resin, and I've added some here. So you can still add the acetate if you want to. That's totally up to you. So let me just crease these. So this creates a window pocket. And you don't have to use a scoreboard if you don't have one. No problem. You can just fold them. So this is going to come and look like this, and then this is going to go inside and it'll match up with this picture here. So let's go ahead. I just want to make sure this is scored. I mean, not scored, that this is folded and creased perfectly. Now, what I want to do here is fold it the other way. And you don't have to use these as flip outs, but I thought they would be kind of fun to do as a flip out. And then this can flip out, so you can see both sides. So let me just glue this shut. I'm going to use art glitter glue. I'm going to put a tiny bead right alongside here, right alongside the fold, and then also on the bottom flap, and then glue that shut. So in here it would always be open, but then you can always flip it out. Okay, so I want to ink this edge. Oops. Make sure this is glued down good. And then let me just move some of this out of the way. Let me turn this over. And I want to glue this here, right on the edge. I could do it this way. So let's do that. All right. Let's add some glue to this. You want to do, if you're going to do any kind of flaps that you want it to be hidden, although there is a pattern on here, if you still want it to be hidden, then put them on before you do your actual pattern paper panels. So let's put this one here. So now, it's the right way. This panel's on here. Okay, so there's that one. And then I have another one, which is right here. So I'm kind of thinking that I want to put it on this side. Then I think what I'll do is put it over on this side. And then that will flap over that way. Okay, so let me just glue this. And again, a very tiny, thin bead of glue on this side. That down. This one says, and love came down. I think it's gorgeous. I did do some resin on this as well. Okay, now we've got our flap. So let's put this in here, make sure it's going to fit okay. Kind of running into the bottom part here. There we go. So that goes in like that. So let's make sure this is good and burnished. Okay, so I think what I want to do, so here's my fold. I want to go just up to it. And I think I'll come down a little bit. Okay. go right up to it, but not over the fold, because that is where our spine is. So I want to make sure that that's going to be okay. Oops. Put that back in place. Press that down good before I fold it and burnish it good. Okay. Okay, so we have our flap here. So that's our little flip out. We have our little flip out here. Okay, so now we can cover the outside piece. So here's my panels. This is number 1. This is the outside. This is number 1 and the outside. And I just want to double check. Yep, I think everything will be fine. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is put down the red piece. I got this dark red cardstock off of Amazon. My color red I had was not the right color cardstock, and I wanted to just kind of have a little bit of a border of the red on top of the craft color cardstock. And by the way, for this folio, you want to use a strong cardstock. So what I have used is 110 pound. And you want it to be strong enough so that it will withstand what we're going to be putting inside this. So it's going to have a journal, it's going to have a writing tablet in here that we're going to create. And so you want to make sure that you are using a strong enough cardstock. So I just want a tiny little border of that red peeking through. So the panels I have cut 1/4 inch smaller for the printed panels of the Christmas garden kit. I have also printed them on 110 pound cardstock, which is going to reinforce this writing folder or folio much more. So it should make it pretty strong. Okay, so we have that, and we have our little flip. So that is our first piece. Cute. I like it. Okay, so now we can also do the inside. So let's go ahead. This is my one inside, but I also need to round this side. And I want to also, where's my, ink this up a little bit. There we go. So on this one, I want to round the edges on this side. I made a mistake earlier on one of the pieces when I was preparing stuff, and I punched it on the wrong side. Yeah, so, you know, just kind of make sure which side you need to punch on. The red one probably doesn't matter as much as your printed one does. I'll turn this over so I can see what I'm doing here. Get a very good punch on this one. Okay, that's better. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to add our red piece and then our pattern on top. Make sure everything still moves. All right. Just make sure you got the rounded corners on the right side. Yeah, those things can happen. And just line it up. Tiny little border. And I just want to make sure that I still can move my little flap here. Whoops, that's not very straight. Let's try and straighten that out a little bit. Okay. And then let's put this one on top. When I saw this kit of Carolyn's, I knew I had an idea of some kind of a writing folio, but with a journal and some little flips and pockets, and yeah, my head was swimming with ideas. It is such a beautiful kit. Okay, all right. So now this will fold over. Get our card back in here a little better. There we go. And let's just give this a good burnish. So now we've got a flip here, and we have a flip here. Okay, so that starts the beginning of our writing folio. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and add some of these spine pieces on, and then I'm going to continue working on the panels. So let me just go ahead and do a few things, and then I'll be back with you. Okay, I have covered everything, but I covered something I probably shouldn't have covered before I put my closure on. So I made sure to leave this uncovered so I could put my closure on, but I did forget to keep this uncovered on the inside. So I figured this is where the journal is going to go, right in here. So after I put the brads and everything, I'll probably just put a pocket or something over that. So just keep in mind, the way this closes is this comes over, so this ends up being your front. So the other side of that is where you would see the brads I'm going to put in. So my closure is this. And I think what I want to do, I think it's going to work, is use some brads. Let me get this turned around the right way. So I figured I'd put some brads here and here. And then that way that would hold it on along with some glue. So what I want to do first is measure to make sure I'm getting right into the center. So let's get this going the right way. And let me use my pencil. Okay, so I'm at 9 inches. So I'm going to go 4.5 inches. So right about in here. And let me just do the same thing over here. So I have my little marks. And then let me just lay this closure in that area. So I think I need to have it about like this, so that this part is on the edge of the top part, and then this part is just a little bit over. Let me see if I can bring you guys in just a little bit. There we go. So a little bit more. So I think if I center my marks right about there, and then let me just use my pencil. Make sure this is straight. The mark there. Whoops. And a mark here. And then get those relined up. Let me close this again so that I keep it in the right spot. And then here, so there's my marks. So let me put mark here and a mark here. All right. So now you can see I shouldn't have covered the other side of that, but I did. So keep that in mind if you're going to make one of these. So let me take my pokey tool. This is kind of thick paper now that we've got it. A couple of two different 110-pound cardstocks together. But I like the fact that it's sturdy because it's going to have a journal in here. Okay, so there's that one. And then let me get my little foam piece here. Put that underneath. I can make my other two marks. So here and here. Okay. All right. Let's put this back together the way it should be so we get our closure on. All right, so we got the two pieces. So let's go ahead and put this piece on first. So I've got some brads. And I'm going to pick a couple of the darker ones so it matches the rest of the hardware that I'm using. Okay, so let's get our first piece on, which is this one. I am going to also add glue. I want to make sure that this stays on really well. So I'm going to add the glue all around here. Don't put it on the part that turns or you won't be able to turn your latch. And then let's line it up over our holes, like so. So hopefully you can see. And I add the two brads in. Carefully turn it over. Open these up. Okay, so I'm going to make sure and push these down because I have that latch there, and so it makes it harder to get these pushed flat. So that looks pretty good right there. So we've got that side on, and our little twisty thing still works. Okay, so this side is going to go up and over, and okay, so let's go ahead and get this one put on. Let me open this up again and add the glue just to this part here. Find the holes and lay those on there. Grab my brads. They're hiding under here. There we go. And let's put these in. And we'll turn it over and do the same thing. Press it down. Really good. This time it's flatter, a little bit flatter. I'm just going to hold that, hold each of these brads as I do that. So now you see where I should have done this ahead of time. But we're going to make something, we'll put something over this. So, okay, so let's make sure this is still straight. And it looks okay, and then let's make sure it latches okay. So this comes over, and then this comes over there, and we latch it. Okay, so the closure's on, and I will come up with something to put on the inside, but let's go ahead and put our piece here. Now we can do that. And I'm going to add a little bit of double-sided tape over these. And when I go to put the other, whatever it is that I decide to put over that other one, I'll make sure and do the same thing. And let's go ahead and glue this piece onto the red piece. Make sure I'm still on camera since I moved it in a little bit so you can see. And anything that I'm using, it will be linked below. If I can find it again, I will definitely link it. And of course, all the kits will be linked below as well. Okay, so there's that. Take off this score tape top. It just really helps to secure your brads. I use it for magnets too. I use it to secure them down as well. Works really good to have that extra adhesion on them. Get this around so I can get this centered on here good. Okay. Press that really good down around those brads. All right, so now we have that. So here's our closure again. So the next thing I want to do, so we have our flip out here, we have our flip out here. I have another flip out, and I think that actually I'm just going to put this on as a pocket, and this will hide the brads here, and it'll be flat enough because our journal is going to go right here. And I'm thinking I just want to glue this on here. I've done some resin on this as well. As you can see, a little shiny. I've also done resin on this guy. There we go. Okay, so let me go ahead and glue this just on these flaps. Glue that down. Press that down good. Okay, so we've got that. Let's see. I think I'll make this as a paper clip, do a little paper clip. And so what I think I'm going to do is just also make this a little pocket. So let's come down a little bit. So let me just glue on 3 sides. This. Whoops. That way I can insert my paper clip. And I just want to make sure that my brads are covered. Oh, I know what I should have done too. Let me do that real quick. Is I want to add some tape over those, so if we do use that as a pocket, let me just lift that up. And let me do that. You won't get caught on that underneath here. That way, if we do put something there, it will not get caught. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense. And then this little card will go in here. And then I'll put a little paper clip over the top of that to secure that shut. Okay, so we've got that. Now we are down to doing some other pockets. So I'm going to grab some things, and I'm also going to grab a little paper clip, and then I'll be right back. All right, I added a little paper clip here, just a tiny one. Now, this is my little writing tablet, so I thought we could work on that. So all I did was I printed out several of the pages from the writing kit. This is the Christmas Garden writing kit. And I also backed it with lined paper. I just used some of the same digitals, and I used the back one kind of over and over, a couple of different ones. And I thought it was fun to put this calendar in the front, but then there's all kinds of writing space if you wanted to write down things you're doing for Christmas or preparing. So I thought that this would make a fun little addition to our folio. So with this, I have cut a piece to go behind it. It's basically the same size. And then we'll add this little belly band, and it'll slide in through that. That's my plan. So hopefully it's going to work out. Okay, so the belly band is 2 inches by 6. And all I did was do a score that is 1/4 inch on each side. I figured that was enough because it's just this back cardstock that's going to slide through it. So my plan was to glue this onto this. So let's do that first. And I want to make sure I have enough room. So let me start with this piece. So let's stack this up. And I want to make sure that I can fold this over. So I want to kind of get an idea as to where I'm gluing this. Make sure it's lined up. Okay. So we want a little bit of a gap. I think right about there. So I've got just a little bit of a gap there. And then I'm going to add glue here. I just made this up as I went along. I wasn't really sure what I was going to be doing here, so hopefully this works out. Okay. And then let's put this on. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so I'm going to glue this on to the back. Again, so there is a gap there. Press that down. Okay. Now I'm thinking what I want to do is 2 eyelets right here with a ribbon. 1.5 on each side. Let's do that. So 1.5 and 1.5. Ooh, it did it. I'm impressed. And there's my other mark. Oops, get that out of there. Ooh, yeah, that's a lot. All right, let me grab my eyelets. So then what I want to do is add this. And then hopefully this will slide in. Like so. So if I put it like that, I think I will put it right about there. All right, so let me glue this on, just on these little flaps. Make sure it's straight. Press that down really good so that grabs. And then the same thing on this side. Okay, put our little notepad in here, like so. Perfect. Okay, so here's what we got so far. Make sure everything still closes, and it does. So we've got our notepad in there. All right, so for the journal, I think what I want to do, I have my journal over here, and I've added some additional pages to it, just some colored ones, just to kind of pull out some of the colors that are in with this, and added some of the pink, some of the red. I just thought it really pulled it together. And I think what I want to do is add this as, I just want to make sure all this closes still. Yeah, it's going to be a tight fit. That's okay. But I think I want to do is add eyelets and elastic. So I think that just seems to work really well for this. So I'm going to add a couple of eyelets toward the edge on each side to get this turned around of the spine. So this is where our flip outs are. And I want to do an eyelet here and here. Let me just make sure that my papers are within that, and they are. Okay, so let's go ahead and punch our hole. This is getting kind of awkward. It's getting big. But a fun project so far anyway. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and just use these eyelets that I have out. And I want it on the outside. Okay, so let's get that put in. Perfect. And let's get this side. Sorry for the awkwardness. It's just kind of big. Okay. All right. Let's get this turned around again. So there's our eyelets. So that looks good. And let's go ahead and put our journal in. So I have some elastic. Just going to use this white. So let's just get some unwound here. All right. So we're going to go, get this back on camera here. Let me go down from the inside to the outside. I've done this before if you've watched some of my other videos when I've done this, and back in. If you have two, then you can do it and you won't see the elastic on the outside, but with one you will. So then I want to line this up, and then I just want to make it snug. So just start to tie your knot and snug it up so that it doesn't shift around. And then go ahead and you need like another hand, but just snug it up and try to hold that down and then make your knot like so. Okay, so that's pretty good. I'm going to do one more knot. And what's nice about this is that you can, if it gets too large, you can always add more elastic. So there's our journal. Here's our writing notepad. And let's just make sure everything closes nicely still, and it does. Yeah. Okay, so we just have a couple more things to do. So I have these pockets from the kit, and I am thinking I want to put them here. Now they line up so they match. So that one's going to go like this. I'm going to go ahead and glue as I'm doing this. Just match them up and glue them down. I love the way she matches these things up. They're so awesome. And that's what I tried to do on the front. Do the same thing. Can't see it much with the closure, but yeah, it is there. I did try. Okay. And then this one will line up with that. So it's perfect. So let's glue that down. And this side down. Like that. Okay. And I think, sorry about that, I got stuff everywhere here. I'm thinking it'll go really good right here. So I'm just going to glue on 3 sides. Let's see. I'm trying to think if I want these glued down. I think I do. So let me just put a little bit of glue here and a little bit of glue under here. Make sure we don't have any on the back here. It's going to cause that to stick. And then let's put that right here. Oops. Sorry about that. Okay, so we have that, and we have that, and have our closure. We have that. Okay, I have some tags that I've already prepared, and I've added some ribbons to the tops of them. So now all I want to do is fill in my pockets. I also put together this little booklet and added some tea dye paper and did some stitching to put that in. So I think I want to put that here. And then I'll just kind of set these up however they look nice. Let's put this one. Keeping in mind the ribbons will cause it to also be a little bit thicker. And then I also put a ribbon on here and tied it. I like the way that looks. And on this side, I added this pocket. Let me scooch over so you can see. So I added this pocket here. So I'm going to add a couple of these. And then we'll add a couple behind here. And that completes all of our pockets. I want to do a little bit more decorating. So I have some things that I had already cut out, and I also have this strands of beads. And I'm kind of thinking I want to put a strand here and here, and I'm not sure about here yet. So for that, I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac glue. So let's just cut a piece. I just thought it would be fun to add a little bit more decoration to the front. So cut 2 pieces. Same. Okay, and then I'm kind of wondering, I don't think I want it here. I think I just want it on the edges. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this down. Okay, I think that looks good. Now I have some of these. I really like this all is calm and all is bright. I think I want to put it up here. And then what else do I have? I have some of these stamps. His grace is sufficient. Come adore him. We've got glory to the newborn king. You are his. And then we have some smaller ones. Maybe I'll put some of these on. Faith. And maybe hope. I also have some of these ovals. This is kind of pretty. Maybe if I do a little collage, something like that. And let's see. This one, we have another one. This one's cute. If we did another little collage like that. Okay, this stuff needs to be inked, so let me go ahead and do that. And then we'll see how it looks again. Just thought I wanted to do a little extra decorating. There's so much in this kit to play with. I tried to play with as much as I could. It's actually for 4 kits. 3 kits. There's writing, there's a journal, and then there's some inserts. Kits. 3 kits. And multiple kits within the kit. In other words, just lots of pages. Yep, I like that there. I think that'll work. So let's get our art glitter glue out, and let's do this one for sure. And then I did something like that, maybe? I do like that. Let's put this on first. Love the birds. And the squirrels. They're adorable too. Okay, so we'll collage there. I don't think I want to cover up this side. I just really like that. Let's see. Let's open this up and let's maybe see if there's any place else in here that we might want to add something. Maybe on the back of this. We do have some resin there. Maybe a smaller one. How about something like, yeah. Let me ink this up. Kind of thinking right in here. So let's do that. Perfect. I like that. Okay. And let's see. Let's do one here. What do we have? How about we put Jesus right there? And how about let's put Faith right there? Again, you can decorate within the journal as well. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to leave it as is. All right, I think that's it. I think we have it. I really like this, but I don't have really a place to put it. Okay. I think that's it. So now we'll do a final flip through next. Okay, let's look at our final flip through for this collaboration, which is for Carolyn Musings. And this is using her Christmas garden kits. There's multiple kits. And so what I have created for this collaboration is this writing folio. So I showed you how we put it together. So let's just take one final look at it. So we've got our latch here for our closure. We did some decorating here on the front. And this opens up. And then we've got this beautiful paper here, this gorgeous paper here. I've covered all the spines as well, so they each have something. And open it up this way. And we have this little flip with this card that comes out, and it's also set up to where it looks, you know, like it's one solid piece. So she's matched it up perfectly. I think it's gorgeous. This opens up. I add a little decoration here. Added this pockets. It's a 3-level pocket. And I did a lot of resin on it. So let me see if I can show you. There's the resin. You can see the shininess. And then I created all these tags. These are all tags from her kit that I've just added the ribbons on and tucked them into this pocket. Like so. And then also this is a little booklet that comes in the kit, and I have done some resin on that. It's got some pages in here for writing, tea stain paper, and I tuck that into the back pocket right there. This flips back over, and then we flip it out this way. We have another flip out pocket, and this can actually just be a solid pocket too, but I decided to make them flip outs. And again, there's a card inside that does come out. We've got resin here and here. You can see that, the shine. And then on this side, I added this pocket, added this little decoration, and put a couple more tags. I love these little trucks. 2 different ribbons. And then here is the signature. So I'll go through this and show you the pages. They're absolutely gorgeous. Now, this is the journal pages. And also some of the writing pages that I may have put on the back side. I've also added some of my own paper that I have received from Etsy, from a shop on Etsy. And it's very faint, but you can kind of see a pattern on this, like a doily was on here. So I added some of the pink to pull out some of the pink in here in the kit. And then I made sure there's lots of writing space or photo space. You can add lots of photos in here if you wanted to. Isn't she beautiful? And then I had it red along with it. So I tried to match up the reds with the reds. And it also has a faint doily on it that was coffee dyed on it. Some of these are some of the background papers I may have put on the back. I just love it. The kit is absolutely gorgeous. Aren't they pretty? Just so many beautiful colors. I love the squirrel. So cute. Glory to the newborn King. This is what we have on the front. Tune my heart to sing thy grace. I just love it. And here's some faint writing in here. As a baby, Jesus came from his home above. He left his throne and who he was to teach us how to love. As a baby, Jesus came wrapped in swaddling cloth, willingly took on humanly, I think that's what it is, though he was one with God. It's so beautiful. It's all about remembering what this Christmas season is all about. Emmanuel, God with us. I love it. One Star, One Child, One Night. She has some gorgeous, beautiful scripture and other writing about Jesus in this kit. Look at how beautiful. The colors just go so well together. Again, more writing, lots of writing and photo space in this. I mean, this truly is a writing folio. Somehow, not only for Christmas, but all the long year through, the joy that you give to others is the joy that comes back to you. And the more you spend in blessing the poor and lonely and sad, the more of your heart's possessing returns to make you glad. Love it. So that is the journal. And then we have a little pocket here, which I used a tiny paper clip for closing it. Tucked in here is this cute little owl, and I also did some resin on it. I was going to put some stickles on, and the more I thought about it, I just thought, you know, I don't want to take away so much from the kit because it's already beautiful as it is. Then we have a couple more tags. Joy, Jesus first, others second, yourself last. So beautiful tags. And I made this as a pocket behind. And then over here is the writing pad. So this comes out. We have a little belly band here that this slides into, and lots of writing paper. I just added all kinds. I just printed out the writings portion of the kit. It was a separate kit, and I just cut them in half. So I've tried to print ones mostly with lines, like a notepad to write on, so lots of areas for writing. And then also on the back, I put different writing papers on the back so that you could write front and back. And then this created this top piece here with a couple of eyelets and some ribbon through it. And then this back piece, which is the red paper, that just then slides right in here. Just like that. And that is the writing folio for this collaboration. This was a fun collaboration using Carolyn Musings kits. So I hope you guys like this. Make sure you check out all the rest of the creators that are involved in this collaboration. I will make sure they are all linked below so that you can watch their collaboration videos as to what they created with these beautiful kits from Carolyn Musings. All the links will be down below for the kits. I will also link anything else that I can find for the closure and other things that I have used within this, and hopefully it'll give you an opportunity to give this a try. Thanks for joining in this collaboration. So everyone have a wonderful day. God bless you all, and we'll see you at the next video. Bye.